Hello everyone! This is sort of an experimental self-introductory video just because I was thinking about maybe making a YouTube channel to talk about my experiences on the autism spectrum, particularly with Asperger's syndrome as a woman, because I know compared to men and boys, women are very underrepresented and underdiagnosed. Um, and this might end up being really, really hard for me to accomplish because I have a crazy schedule and it's really kind of hard for me to just sit and talk. Oops. Um, I usually have to think a lot before I talk to make sure I'm saying the right thing, which may or may not play into my Asperger's syndrome. I have a lot of anxiety. Anyway, my name's Amanda. I'm 27 years old, and I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome when I was around maybe 19 years old, 20 years old, because after spending my entire life at home, going off to college was really kind of traumatizing for me, but at the same time, it was really eye-opening because I started to realize and notice more that there were some very different things about me and some things that I struggled with. So I had a lot of anxiety and maybe a little bit of depression at the time, so I decided to go to therapy and counseling on campus. And at the time, I was really into psychology, so I brought a list of possible diagnoses with me to the counseling session saying, oh, I think I have avoidant personality disorder, or I think I have this, or I think I have that. I have anxiety. And afterwards, they came back and told me, no, well, you may have those things, but actually you have Asperger's. And honestly, that was never a possibility that had crossed my mind. And at the time, it was kind of devastating because I had this idea of what people with autism were like, and I wanted no part of it because, there were a lot of stereotypes that people with autism were nonverbal, which in a lot of cases they can be. Sorry, kind of in the middle of a cold, so. But yeah, it was really, really stressful for me to come to terms with that, and I didn't tell anyone for a really long time. And I still haven't really told many people in my family or in my life, just because I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I mean, I think after 7 years or so, I'm more comfortable with myself, but it's been a long process, and I know a lot of you might be going through the same thing or similar things. So I wanted to kind of finally express myself, and while it might be therapeutic for me to come out and talk about these things, someone out there might be watching and it might help in a way. But yeah, I I feel like I'm a relatively well-adjusted person. I got my bachelor's degree in education, and I'm currently working on my master's degree in early childhood special education. um, so I guess I have a little more interest in autism than before. I also spent a few years teaching overseas in Japan. Um, I spent a month in Italy. I've lived a pretty good life, honestly. Um, and I don't want anyone to think that just because they have some sort of diagnosis like this, that they don't have the ability to live a life, like live their own life however they want to. Because I'm living proof that it is so possible. And I know that some people suffer on the more lower functioning end of the spectrum. So I can't speak for everyone because we're all different. We all have different challenges, but I think it is very possible to make progress towards whatever goals you have for your life. Um, yeah, so if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to hear about, I should be making some more videos with specific topics later. But I just wanted to introduce myself and see if there was any more interest out there for anything in particular. Thank you.